Yeah, so I'm a huge fan of this motorcycle dolly from Let's Roll. Capable of holding up to 1,200 pounds and anything with 2 wheels and a kickstand, this heavy-duty dolly and lift combo allows for easy movement, precise storage, and easy cleaning of your motorcycle. With a combined weight of 62 pounds, this dolly and lift package is made here in the USA using 10 gauge US steel with a matte black textured powder coat finish and zero scuff 4-inch lockable casters. Alright, so in the box for the Let's Roll motorcycle dolly, you have the dolly frame, you have your 2 crossbars with mounting hardware, and then you have your 4 casters. Now 2 of the casters are lockable. Now if you prefer to have 4 lockable casters, you can go on their website and purchase 2 additional locking casters. Now you should be fine with 2, but if you want 4, you can go on the website and purchase 2 additional locking casters. Now looking at this dolly, everything looks great. The black powder coat finish on here looks good. The welds, you can tell they're gonna hold up to some everyday use. I like the fact that they add this badge on here, this Let's Roll Cruiser badge, just adds that final touch. Now looking at these crossbars, same thing, the black powder coat textured finish looks good. I like the fact that they add this padding on the top, just protects the underside of the motorcycle, and it looks and feels like it has a good grip, just keeps your motorcycle from sliding around while you're rolling it around the garage. Now here you have the Let's Roll scissor lift, same thing, great quality product, just touching it, holding it, feeling it, you can tell it's gonna hold up to some everyday use. You have your Let's Roll lift badge right here, just adds that finishing touch. And same thing as the dolly, you have this padding on the top, just protects the underside of the motorcycle and keeps it from sliding around. Now what I really love about this scissor lift is that they added this felt on the bottom. Now I've added this before on scissor lifts, just makes it a lot easier to maneuver on the bottom, and it protects your flooring and it protects the scissor lift. And now here you have your bolt with grease. Now I do suggest that you lube this up before you start operating your lift. Just makes things run a lot smoother and keeps things from getting damaged. Now they do provide you with some checklists and some instructions. And they also provide you with a certificate of authenticity. Now I've never seen this before. It's 100% original, made in USA. I definitely like the fact that they added this. I'll probably be putting this on my wall somewhere. Now you can purchase the dolly and the scissor lift separately, or you can purchase it as a package. Now Let's Roll does offer an Indian motorcycle adapter plate to use on the dolly and lift for certain Indian motorcycles. Other than that guys, this is pretty simple to assemble, so let's roll. Now for tools, I use a 9/16 socket, 3/4 inch socket, 7/8 socket, couple size ratchets, a 9/16 wrench, and a drill. Now getting the motorcycle dolly assembled is really simple. They do provide you instructions on how to get this thing together. Now as far as the crossbars, you do have a high setting and a low setting, depending on how high you want it, or depending on what motorcycle you have a high setting and a low setting, and I believe it's about 1.5 inches. Now for your crossbars, the longer ends are gonna go towards the logo. So you'll take your bolt with your 3/8 washer, and it's gonna come in from the outside. So I'll put mine at the highest setting for now. So I'll take my other bolt with washer, put that on. You'll take another washer, you'll put it on this side, and then you'll take your nut and put that on. And it's the same thing on the other side. So to tighten these down, I'm using a 9/16 socket and a 9/16 wrench. So now that I got the crossbars installed, I have them down nice and snug. Now for these, you don't need to over tighten, just get them down nice and snug. So now I'll install the casters. Now for the lockable casters, you want them on opposite sides on the corners. And to get these installed, you have your nuts and your washers. So you'll take your caster, you'll install it from the bottom, and you'll take your 1/2" washer, you'll put that on, then I'll get the nut finger started. And to tighten these down, I'm using a 3/4" socket. Same thing with these, you just want to get them down nice and snug. Now the Dolly has a 1,200-pound weight capacity and it weighs in at 38 pounds. Now on the bolt for the scissor lift, you just want to inspect it, make sure all your threads are good to go, and then I'll throw some grease on it. Now for the grease packet that they provide, it's a tear tab, so they made it really simple. So I'll go ahead and lube this up. Now it's on you how much you want to apply, but I'm going to apply the whole thing. So you want to keep the screw and the point that the screw pushes onto the jack lubricated with grease. Now the scissor lift does have pinch points, so you want to keep your hands and your fingers away from any moving parts. Now you never want to use an impact wrench, air or electric to turn the screw. You can use a 7/8 deep well socket with a swivel head ratchet or a drill. Now the scissor lift has an 1,100-pound weight capacity and it weighs in at 24 pounds. Now for the measurements on the lift, on the highest setting, you're looking at approximately 14 inches by 12 inches and 10.5 inches in height, including the pad. Now for the measurements on the lift, on the lowest setting, obviously it's going to be the same on the length and the width, but on the height, you're looking at approximately 4 inches, including the pad. Now for the measurements on the Let's Roll Dolly, for the crossbars on the highest setting, you're looking at approximately 16 inches by 18 inches and 10 inches in height, including the pad. Now for the crossbars on the lowest setting, you're looking at approximately 8 3/4, including the pad. Now for the full length of the Dolly, including the casters with them facing inboard, you're looking at approximately 34 inches 3/4. Now you want to position the lift on the center for your weight distribution on your bike, depending if you have saddlebags or a tour pack or whatever you might have on the front. It might take you a couple times to find the correct center for your weight distribution. Now before you push the lift underneath the bike, you just want to make sure that the underside is clear from any pipes, wiring, or any lighting. Also, when you're positioning your lift underneath your motorcycle frame, you want to make sure you have equal amounts on the right side and on the left side. So I'll start with the drill first. and then I'll switch over to a ratchet. Now before you start lifting the bike, you just want to make sure that you're in gear so the back wheel doesn't spin. Now once you have the lift all the way up, you can take your motorcycle dolly and roll it underneath on the kickstand side. Now same thing when you're positioning the dolly, you want to make sure that it's equal on the left and on the right. And once you find the position, go ahead and lock your casters. So I'm going to try to push the dolly while the casters are locked. And it's not budging, so that's a good thing. So those casters, those locks are working pretty well. So I'm going to go ahead and unlock the casters so we can roll this thing around. Ah, don't run over your foot. I'm a big fan of this motorcycle dolly from Let's Roll. So getting the bike off the dolly, it's going to be the same thing, just in reverse. Just make sure that your bike is in gear so the rear tire doesn't spin and your kickstand is down. So lowering it down, it's a little easier using a drill. Just make sure that you're taking your time. Now once your wheels touch, you want to turn your handlebars towards the kickstand side. All right guys, so my final thoughts on the Let's Roll dolly and the Let's Roll scissor lift. I absolutely enjoy it. It was really simple putting it together. Using the scissor lift, it was really easy to operate. It does take some work getting it up there, but getting it down, you can use the drill and it gets it down a little faster. Other than that guys, great quality product from Let's Roll. Easy to move around in your garage for storage, cleaning, any type of maintenance. Just don't get carried away like I did and run over your feet with the casters. So just be aware where your feet are and where the casters are. Other than that guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and I'll see you on the next one. So in this video, we have the Let's Roll scissor lift. That's not a scissor lift, it's a dolly. That's a scissor lift, and that's a dolly. I got my hands confused. Where do my hands go?